This is Blend Club for August 2018. The tobacco we're going to be reviewing today is McClellands Dark Navy Flake. Alright, before we get started, I'd like to give you a little bit of information about the blend, and that information is provided by tobaccoreviews.com. McClelland Dark Navy Flake. This is unique in that it begins as a very light blend of fine Eastern Belt lemon leaf and cutter grade tobaccos, which are transformed through pressure, aging, and light stoving into beautiful dark pungent cake. The brand is McClelland, blended by McClelland Tobacco Company, manufactured by McClelland Tobacco Company. The blend type is straight Virginia. The contents are Virginia, and the flavoring is none. It's a flake, and it is no longer in production. The strength is medium. The flavoring is none detected. The taste is medium, and the room note is pleasant to tolerable. All right. Well, as tobaccoreviews.com said, this tobacco is no longer produced. So I'm going to let you know, okay, so when I smoke this tobacco, because of the stoving and the aging process, it brings out, you can taste the Virginias, and you can taste a fruity note, more like raisins or prunes maybe. It was very wet when I got it. I had to let it dry out for about an hour or so. But the tobacco, in my opinion, was very unremarkable. I mean, it had the fruity notes, which I like, but it's your basic stoved, aged Virginia blend. It's dark, but because you can't get it any longer, I didn't want to dwell too much on this blend, because you can't get it. So, and just if you're going to take my review, you're not really missing out on too much. If I was going to give this a rating, I would give it a rating of 2 smiley faces, 2 emoji smiley faces, because for me it wasn't. It tasted okay, but it's not, it's not very remarkable, at least to me. Now, if you've tried this tobacco and you love it, please leave a review in the comments section, just to let me know, yeah, well, I really liked it. If I was going to give it a rating, I'd give it a higher rating. But for me personally, to me it's just your basic stoved and aged Virginia. All right. Well, so I mentioned that you can no longer get this tobacco. So I wanted to touch a little bit on why. Well, this tobacco was produced by McClelland Tobacco Company. Now, McClelland Tobacco Company is no longer in business. I think about 8 months ago they closed their doors. And I wanted to go over a little bit why that happened. I've done a video on this before, but I just wanted to, some of the statements I made weren't quite correct. So I've gotten some new information, and I wanted to pass that along to you guys and let you know, from all I've gathered, this is kind of the reasons why they shut their doors. Okay, so first of all, McClelland Tobacco Company is a family-owned business. There was a husband and wife team that ran the company, and they were very particular. They wanted to make sure that their tobaccos were top-notch, that their tobacco was was the finest that you could get. So they got a lot of their tobaccos from high-grade growers that grew the best tobacco that you could get. And so let me go through some of the reasons why McClelland decided that it was time to shut the doors. First reason is that they were getting older. They were getting older and they were getting into retirement age. And apparently there was no one in the family that wanted to take over the business. Or they just didn't feel confident enough in other members of their family to take over the business and keep it as high quality as they have been running the company. And they were just, I think they were just ready to retire. They were ready to enjoy retirement and, do some other things, travel, do some other things that they haven't been able to do, because when you're running a company, that's pretty much 24/7. That's all you do. The second thing is that apparently one of the ingredients, or maybe more of the ingredients that they were getting to produce their tobaccos, one of the growers, either one couldn't grow it any longer, or decided that they were going to retire as well and decided to call it quits. And they were no longer going to produce the tobacco that McClelland needed in order to produce the high quality tobaccos they were producing. Well, so that means McClelland would have to go through and try to find another grower that grew just as high quality of tobacco as the grower that decided to get out of the business. And for a couple that is, just on the edge of retiring, that's something big. That takes a lot of time, a lot of effort to try to find another grower. And I don't think that they were willing to put in that time, because it was just too difficult. I think that was, and then also the deeming regulations. At the time, I think one of the things that was going to happen was that all the tobacco companies were going to have to put a notice on their tobaccos, sort of like they do in Europe. This tobacco kills, and this tobacco will cause cancer and all that kind of stuff. They had to retool all or put money into developing these warning labels. So with all those three things combined, one, they were up in age and they didn't have anybody they really either didn't want to take over the business, or they didn't really feel would keep the business going at a high quality rate that they were producing tobacco. One or more of their growers decided they weren't going to be supplying the crucial tobaccos they needed in order to make the high quality tobaccos. And three, the deeming regulations that required them to retool and put warning labels on all of their tobaccos. And let me tell you, McClelland was big into tobaccos. They had a huge 20 or 30 different blends. Plus, I think they helped other companies create their tobaccos as well. So they had their hand was deep in the amount of tobacco they provided. So it's a shame that they're gone. It's a shame that that we've lost a giant in the tobacco producing world. But I can understand. You're up in age. You're ready to retire. It would take a lot of effort to find another grower that would grow the tobacco that they needed at a high quality, and then the deeming regulations wanting to change your branding, by putting warning labels on. I think it was all just came together right at the right time, and they just decided, it's time for us to get out. So I'm not sure if you can find this tobacco anymore. Someone suggested, hey, since we can't find this tobacco, can we do a different blend for Blend Club. Well, I didn't want to do that because I had already put out the list, and other people might have already purchased the tobacco before McClelland decided to call it quits. So I didn't think it was right to have those people buy this tobacco and then have to go and buy another tobacco. So I figured I'd just keep the tobaccos that we've got, review this one. Like I said, it's not, for me at least, it wasn't impressive. It's not one of their more impressive lines or blends. It would have only gotten two smiley face emojis from me. So it's not a big loss. Now, other people may love this blend and absolutely think it's fantastic. If you do, please leave a review and let everyone know how good this tobacco is. But I didn't really see it, and it's not this particular tobacco is not a big loss with McClelland shutting its doors. All right, well, that's it for Blend Club for September, or for for August. Next month, hold on a second. All right, September's blend. Let's take a look and see what that's going to be. September's blend is going to be Peter Stokkebye's Luxury Bullseye Flake. Now, this is a very popular one, so if you don't have any and you'd like to participate in Blend Club, this would be a good one to get. All right, well, that's it for Blend Club for August. We'll see you next time in September.